Pretty past.
You got it, going past the house, yeah. So it should be close. This is about 3 feet high, so you're there,
It's not gonna use my
it should be
trench
below the
for
basement.
water.
Just once you're down there, there's a crushed stone across the whole thing. 6-inch pipe goes in on the ground. So the water will be down here, this side. But when it comes to runoff, the water doesn't even, if it rains every day, the water doesn't go over that one. I mean, it's just the groundwater. Because everything goes right down to the trench and back and goes down to railroad tracks.
Yeah, but you're using my trench.
Yeah, you
Did
I
I
mean,
do?
don't make a difference,
And I
nothing.
don't want,
It's what you'll do with the water,
I don't know,
you know?
but
You know?
I've been out the
Yeah.
last couple of years.
That's past the buildings and it's not impacting her if it hits that trench.
It's not impacting our house anyway.
Right.
No, it's away from the house, yeah.
That's a plus, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that's kind of the way of it, no matter how you.
Yeah, it's all, up and up, so it's just,
It's gonna go down.
yeah.
Okay, does the board have any other concerns about site plan from your point of view?
I don't have any other concerns.
All right, a couple of things though we need to deal with. The county had 3 issues. Lighting, they wanted to make sure they got using full cutoff lights. Landscaping, basically the absence of the landscaping plan, which we can probably explain to them about that. And the other was the building orientation, which we talked to Walt the last time here about, that they would prefer to see the entrance to that from the back instead of the front, which I think on that particular site doesn't make much sense. Okay. So I think from my point of view, relative to the county, the only thing from this that we should make note of is the lighting.
Cutoff lighting means that it just points down of 28, not the
Yeah.
black view, vision of somebody going 28, I got you.
Right. And your neighbors.
Right, it's a neighboring property.
You've got, I'm not sure where the Dennis house is, but we know where Gladys's house is. The thing that you don't want to be doing is having your light shine across the property line. I mean, to some degree, you can't avoid it depending on the height and whatever, but you want to make sure you don't have a big spotlight out there that shines directly across the property lines. Okay, any other discussion on this?
So, but I ask a question then?
Yes.
So you're giving this piece of property the authority to put water in my trench?
No?
No?
No. Is it happening right now?
Yes?
We didn't give that authority.
Hmm?
We didn't give that authority. In other words, I don't know that we have the power to stop. I mean, basically to fix the problem you're talking about, we have to tear the building down, fill the basement up, and the property becomes useless. I think, maybe. But we don't have any way of fixing the existing problem. I think some of the things we can ask Walt to do will keep the water from going into your house or your basement by making sure it goes out the back of his property as best he can control it. At least that's downhill from where your house is. But there's nobody there right now.
If the water goes in the end of my trench, it comes down, when the trench is full, it comes down into my basement.
But
Well, you know, we'll have to talk about this privately and see if we can't just solve this, that's all. Because I'm not against you using this, business there. But we have to do something.
And I'll be honest with both of you, I would suspect from what I've seen, water like this problem is one of the biggest problems we got in our town. I have the exact same thing happening on my property. Fortunately for me, it doesn't do any harm. But I got a neighbor that has purposely piped water from his property to my property. But it happens to be on a part of my land that my house is in danger. The septic system is, but not my house. And it is a big issue. But and it's particularly a big issue when you've got a small piece of property that sounds like the water, the ground level is pretty
Oh,
saturated,
yeah.
and there's just no place for the water to go. But I gather the trench you dug was really just kind of, it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't take the water to a stream or something,
It doesn't take the water where?
to a stream or a creek.
Well, sure it does, because what happens is, it goes down towards the reservoir, it goes up west and back of the property there, goes down alongside, if you look at my map, alongside, all around my property, so that it meets the culverts that go into the reservoir. It's the culverts, the reservoir culverts. I have to show you. Can I show you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so it goes here, and Walt is talking about putting it in this trench. This trench goes all the way here, all the way over to my property. Now, over in here, there was never a trench here before. So now the water goes into a culvert here that belongs to, goes down into the reservoir. And there's a couple of them here. There's a little shopping center over here. And that goes down into the reservoir. That's what it is.
Well, in effect, what we're trying to say is, the only way for Walt to deal with this,
Right in the back here, so actually if it's, if you look at this, it's like, for me, it's right here. And it's like this. So it's actually like this, what you have here, yes.
So you're going to
So,
go over
correct, yeah. If you reroute.
beyond the trench?
Right here, wrong side here, right to her. She has a trench going right here, and right here, and it goes down like this.
Right.
Yeah.
So where's
That's
the
what she-
line, where's the line going to go through?
Oh, line's gonna go right from here, but just coming off, the whole one is coming off here.
Over
And
here?
the line, the whole, will be cutting apart partially with the
Right.
thing.
You're
At the
building
end of
a
it, correct.
new part.
Garage door part goes here.
Mhm.
And as you're doing the footings there, in that corner, you dig it deeper, and then reroute the water right to here. Right to the trench in the back.
Right to the trench? Or
Yeah.
beyond the trench?
It'd be on there, wherever, you know, that's it right there. Well, sure, he has a trench here, yeah. Our house is all here.
Gladys, when I can
Past the
see,
house.
the only way to,
That's the
let's
house,
say,
yes.
at least mitigate water getting into your basement, is to try to get water from, I'll say Walt's place, or anywhere else, past your house, into the culvert you're talking about.
Yeah, Gladys's trench is taking groundwater, it's taking surface water, it's not taking groundwater.
Right.
The only way she can get rid of the groundwater is to put a perimeter drain in her house underground, get it to daylight.
The daylight, yeah.
Okay.
My husband is talking about digging the trench deeper,
Deeper, yeah.
but, you know, I hate to have to put
Yeah,
in more
but
money.
But again, that's just taking surface water.
Yeah.
If you dig by the house, if you dig down to your foundation,
Well, see,
put a
from
perimeter
the
drain.
corner of my property, where it starts at the corner, it goes at a 90-degree angle into my house. That's the property. It's not a straight line, in fact, of beyond the gate property. It's not a straight line. It goes from the corner all the way down, about a 90-degree angle. Oh, it's a problem. I know it's a problem. I told Walt, I said, you'd probably have to buy my property to get rid of your problem, but it's not for sale.
I think we work together, to resolve it. I don't want,
I think-
get that one.
I think what you just said is the main thing.
Yeah,
The neighbors,
yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta work this out
Yeah.
somehow. I mean, there's no way that the town, including this board, can actually regulate it for you. But you can work together to figure out how to at least protect your buildings. That's the main thing. And like I said, his tough part is how does he get the water from his property past somebody else's place so it's not doing harm? Because whether he